Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Chrysalis Torchiere. This is the 241101 beautiful floor lamp. Let's get into details on it, and we'll talk about the glass in just a second. It's coming in at 74.4 inches tall, 17.1 inches in width, and the depth is about a foot. Now, let's talk about this glass, which I think is fantastic. Hubbardton Forge Chrysalis glass is used on a lot of other fixtures as well. There's pendants, all kinds of pendants, quite honestly, and sconces too, so you should check those out if you get a chance. So this glass is, well, to begin with, Hubbardton Forge uses only the best glass makers in the world, so right off the bat you know this is pretty special. It is cast crystal, so you have all these facets. After it's done, it's actually, they come back, they take the entire thing and they dip it in molten glass, in opaque molten glass. And you're going to have two options as far as that goes. You're going to have this opaque matte white, and then the other one is going to be your matte black. So very dramatic, pretty cool. Like I said before, it's opaque, so you're not going to be able to see the socket that's inside of this. After they do this dipping of this other glass, they come along and they take it and they grind it against these grinding wheels and buffing wheels to make them super, super smooth. And it reveals the, like, see the edge right there? I don't know if you can see that, the edge of this other glass on this. It's almost like a gemstone, so it's kind of like how you would make diamonds. You know, you cut diamonds basically by grinding them along. So it's almost like a giant gem at the end of the day. Like I said, or maybe I didn't say, this one is 9.1 inches tall, and that's from the tip to this embedded retaining ring right here. It has threading on the inside. The other one is 6.3 inches tall. So you're going to have two of the larger ones at the top, and you're going to have one of the smaller ones just below it for this really dramatic effect. Okie doke. So moving on, let me talk about a couple other things. The dimmer on this is an on-off dimmer. You're going to be using LEDs in this, and dimmable LEDs, and I'll talk more about that in a second. And that pole comes up from the base on this, and just it's in a place that's easy to reach, which is really nice. You'll hear a little click when you turn it on, and then you can dim it up and dim it back down again, and click it to hear it going off again. Okay, now let's talk about what's inside, because that's going to be super important. You're going to be using these G9 sockets. There's three of them, because remember there's three pieces of glass. You're only going to be using LEDs in this, no halogens, and you're going to be using 5-watt LEDs. A 5-watt LED is the equivalent of a 40-watt incandescent bulb. So don't forget, you've got three of these. It's going to throw out a ton of light, and you can dim it down. When you talk about, or when you start looking for the bulbs that you're going to be using in this, we use Amazon. It's just easier. There's other websites out there, and you could go to hardware stores too. But at the end of the day, these little G9 bulbs are what you're going to be doing. This one has wire prongs. This one has like flat metal prongs. Wire prongs again. So these LEDs, they just really snap right into the socket. So it's super simple. They just go in like that. This is a phosphorus one. You can see the yellow tab in it. Sometimes they're lines, sometimes they're flat tabs like that. And then these are what are called cob LEDs. And I don't know if you could tell, but it looks like corn cobs. There's kind of a milky covering on both of these. And they have all these little facets inside, these little LED pieces, including on the end. So these throw quite a bit of light too. These are 5-watt LEDs, and they throw, like I said, the equivalent of a 40-watt incandescent bulb. When you go online, you're just going to put in G9 5-watt LED, and there you go. You don't even have to go up to 5 if you don't want to. You could do anywhere down lower than that, but 5 per socket is going to be the limit for this. Okay. And the other thing we talk about all the time when we're looking at LEDs online or anywhere is the color temperature of the light. So these are going to be offered in a couple things, three ways. They're going to be offered to you in 2700 Kelvin. That's super yellow, like the setting sun. Some people absolutely love that. They're also going to be offered to you in what is called daylight. And daylight sounds like a warm light. It's not a warm light. It's that kind of cold, white, bluish hospital waiting room light, or an overcast day. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 on the Kelvin scale. In the middle of all that is called warm white, which is 3,000 Kelvin. 3,000 Kelvin is what we use in our showroom. The lights coming down on me right now are LEDs. These are 3,000 Kelvin, and it's a nice warm light. You probably thought this was incandescent lighting coming down, but it's not. So it's something to remember. The other thing is, when you're looking at these online, super important to look for that word dimmable. It's going to be really important for you. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.